Hey guys, just thought I'd jump in here real quick. I hope that you guys are having a good day. I came on here for a little bit of a story time. It's kind of funny. Back when, I don't know, this has been several years ago, probably like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. My mom was disabled. She's passed, but she was disabled. She had really bad back issues. She had falling issues. I was the one that was taking care of her. I also had a job that I worked 12-hour days. So I would get off work and call her and see if she needed anything, or I would stop by there and make sure that she was okay and had something to eat and had her pills. And I also did like her grocery shopping, picking up her medications, just stuff like that. Now, at this point, she could still like bathe herself and she could get around a little bit, but she was in a lot of pain. So I went over to her house one day, and the thing is, it's funny because when I was growing up, the house was immaculate at all times. There was never any messes. My mom cleaned every day. But after my dad died, she started buying stuff, and she kind of became a hoarder. Well, she did become a hoarder. It wasn't like her place was dirty, but there was just stuff everywhere. There was stuff upstairs. I had to banish her from going upstairs because she would go up to go get something and then she would fall down the stairs. So I told her, if you want something, you need something, you need to call me because this is an issue. But finally, I decided that I'd had enough with the stairs. She wouldn't listen. I know that a lot of you people out there that were caregivers to your parents or are caregivers to your parents, you know that when you have to take over taking care of them, it's like taking care of a toddler. They do not want to listen to you. They don't, they still have that mentality. I'm the parent and you're the child and I get to do whatever I want. And it's like, no, you can't. You can't do whatever you want anymore because your body is not allowing you to do that. So anyway, I went over to her house. This was right before I got her an apartment. And I decided to go into my old room, packed full of stuff everywhere. I mean, you couldn't hardly get through. And what I was trying to do was I was trying to find medication that she shouldn't be taking. We did several of these sweeps through either her apartment or her house. We would go to her pharmacy, get her updated list of medications, and then we would make these sweeps through either the house or the apartment and try to find as much old medication, expired medication, it didn't matter. She had so much stuff. So I decided I was going to go in my room and I was going to inspect my room and see if I could find anything that needed to be thrown away or whatever. So I'm in my room and I noticed this chest, and I'd seen it before. I never seen what was in it. But I saw this chest, and it was a chest that my stepdad had made for her, and it had her initials on it. He engraved it. It was so pretty. But it was always put up really high in her closet, in her bedroom closet. Now, I was never really allowed upstairs in her bedroom. She had like a doggy cage, like a baby gate or whatever, and if that was closed, I was not to go upstairs. If it was open, then I could go upstairs. But when I was up there, I would see this box way up high. Well, I just wasn't that kind of a kid. I grew up in a stern household, and I thought, oh my God, the minute I touch that thing, somebody's going to catch me and I'm going to get in trouble. So I never knew what was in it. So I see this box and I reach for it and I grab it and I open it up. And I got to be a little bit careful about what I say here because I don't want to irritate anybody on these platforms. But there was a lot of recreational stuff in the chest, okay, of all different kinds. There was something for whatever anybody needed in there, and I was shocked, okay, because I knew that she used to smoke in her younger days, but I didn't know about all of this other stuff. So I take it into the living room that's where she was staying, in her living room. She had a bed in her living room and stuff. And I took this chest over and I said, "What is this all about?" And she goes, "What?" And I said, "You know what? You know what's in here. What is with this?" And she just looked at me and she goes, "It was the 80s. I was like, "All right. Now I know maybe why that doggy gate was closed sometimes." Anyway, I knew that I could not really throw it away in her presence because she would get real upset with me if I did that. So I knew I couldn't do that. She had such a hard time getting around, and there was so much clutter everywhere that I went into my closet and I put it on a really high shelf, and I just thought I'll deal with it later. Well, then when we went to go get her moved, I moved the majority of her stuff over that she needed. But there was some stuff that was just like garbage stuff or stuff that we needed to look through later or whatever. But my husband hired some people that he knew to go over there and clean up the rest of the house because we're going to have to sell the house at some point. So these people have come over to the house and they're cleaning up, putting stuff in a trailer to be then put into a storage unit. But I go over there and like the chest is gone. And I had to laugh because I knew that these people took this chest. And it's whatever. I mean, I was going to get rid of it anyway. I was just going to like flush everything down the toilet and then I actually wanted the box because the box was pretty. But I was going to get rid of all the other stuff that was inside, but everything was gone. The box, they took it. I don't know where it is now, but shortly after that, after she got in an apartment, we found out that she had terminal liver cancer. So she was they gave her 6 months to live. And throughout this 6 months, she actually died earlier than that. She died after 4 months because she got COVID from the nursing facility. But she would every once in a while ask me about this box. Like, "Do you still have my box? Can you bring it to me?" Well, I couldn't take a box like that into a nursing facility anyway, but I was like, "Yeah, it's put away. You know, I'll let you see it another time. I can't bring it in here." You know, I had all these excuses, and she passed before it really became a problem or an issue. But I think that we were getting there where she was about ready to throw a fit for it. But thank goodness she does not know that the box disappeared, because I know she would have had an absolute meltdown. Even though she hadn't touched anything in the box for years, I knew she would throw an absolute fit if it was missing. So that is my little story time about my mom and her wooden chest. What do you guys think? Bye.